Well, it's plain to see that I'm not wearing a Hawaiian shirt today. Jeez. Hey guys, welcome back to the Shape Game. It's been a little while since my last video, like 2 weeks, but I was on vacation, having a great time in Hawaii, so that was fun. You know, you go through a lot with like cancer and stuff, and I was like, no, I don't need a vacation. But then I went on vacation, I was like, oh, I actually needed this. I had no idea. It's one of those things that even if you tell yourself you don't need, you might need to just like step out of life for a little bit. It's really nice. Speaking of solutions to problems, today we're going to talk about like dealing with cancer as cancer, not with like the health part of it. You know, dealing with like coping, you or your family, dealing with the financial stress that can come from an expensive illness, things you don't want to have to deal with, but it's really sad that it's a part of it, obviously. So let's talk about how my parents have dealt with this, how my family has dealt with this, how I deal with it. Let's get going. Number one, if you need help, if you want to talk to somebody, every hospital I've been to, they have offered counseling and therapy for families and for the patient when it comes to struggling with cancer and what it means. I actually met with a psychiatrist when I was at MD Anderson. They set them up with me and I got to meet with that person. I already had a psychiatrist, so I didn't need that, but that's a really nice program that hospital offered to help people cope with what they're going through, and it's really nice to have trained professionals like that. I already had a therapist before all this happened, but definitely, if you were going through this and you feel like you need on a regular basis, every other week or so, every week maybe even twice a week, that's not something crazy to ask. You go see a therapist, call your therapist, something to talk about with somebody that isn't a family member and isn't super closely affected by this, because sometimes you just want to talk about what you're going through with someone that isn't going to maybe start crying, or someone who's not your doctor and who isn't necessarily going to provide emotional solutions versus just medical solutions. So it's nice to have a therapist. It really helps, at least with me. Then of course, there are group sessions that you can do. My parents, one of them goes to a group cancer survivor session, and for them, that's really helpful. If it's helpful for you to go to a group and talk about what you're going through and the problems you're having, and there are other people out there suffering from the same problems that we have, and it's really nice to sometimes just communicate with those people. And if they're doing better than you with coping with it, ask them how they're doing. Ask them how they do it. You know, what do they see at the end of the tunnel that keeps them going? Or if they're struggling with something that you know you can help with, that's great too. That brings you up, lifts you up by talking to them about things that they can work on in like a positive way. My sister has also gone with this parent as well to these meetings and got a lot out of it. So it's stuff where just people are talking about they're going through the struggles of daily life with cancer. And you don't have to be a cancer patient to go to this. You can be a family member and go to one of these groups, and it could be really beneficial for you. But really, just anything to help you work on what you're going through. You know, whether that you could write about stuff, if that really helps. I've talked about that in the past. I love writing. If you're a musician, sing about it, write songs about it, you know? Definitely do things you enjoy to help you preoccupy yourself when you're not thinking about cancer. That's awesome stuff to do. Always stay productive. That's really a good way to not just get stuck in a rut of this is hospital, this is appointment, this is a doctor, you know, those kind of things. One more thing, something that doesn't apply to me when it comes to like this kind of stuff. A hospital I went to actually had a massage place in the hospital where therapists would do massage therapy on people. So they said it's free for the family members who are dealing with stuff. So I'm super ticklish, cannot do massages, but my mom was immediately like, oh, I'll sign up for one of those. Don't know if she ever did, but that's something nice that hospitals offer. Make sure you just talk to someone at your hospital. They will literally give you all the resources you need to help you figure out what's going on with this stuff. Now, if you don't have great insurance or are worried about paying for all this, I'm not the money person. I would not ask me any of these things, but I did find a few great resources online with foundations and groups trying to help people when it comes to paying for their cancer treatment or finding ways to pay for cancer treatment. I'll put those links down in the description. I'm not going to try to explain some of them because I was like, oh, okay, that's not my forte. Math is not my thing, and money is not either. So just ask my parents. At the end of the day, it's all about you admitting that you might not be able to do this alone. Whether you can't just do it with your family, or if it's your family struggling to deal with these things, getting help for you or getting help for them is not a bad thing. It's not bad at all. It just shows that you want to work on this instead of wallowing in the suffering, you know? I've learned that wallowing and just thinking about the pain you have or will have is not beneficial. It doesn't help you. It just keeps you feeling bad. And if you can find tools and methods to work on yourself, to make yourself feel better about this stuff, and that's my motto with a lot of things. It may sounds really cheesy, I'm sure, but having a therapist, having a psychiatrist, seeking help from others, it really, really helps and means a lot to me. So I know this video is probably not too long, a little shorter, but you know, I wanted to put this out there because my dad was talking about going to cancer group and cancer support group and how it was helping him and my mom. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll put this out here for people who maybe don't know that's a thing or are so caught up in everything going on that they haven't even thought about, hey, maybe I should work on myself, not medically, but like mentally, work on the things I'm thinking about, or financially helping with that too. So like I said, links in the description for the finance stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know it's been a little while. I'm gonna get back to my every Monday video, get back to that. I'm really interested. Are there any videos about topics that you didn't know about before you got into this? Things you wish you'd known? Definitely put them down in the description. I'd love to make a video about those things, or even research some things that I don't even know that would help other people. I also want to do a video answering a bunch of questions you might have about me. I know people have asked about my tremor, my action tremor in my hand, if I got it before cancer or after cancer. I would love to make a video answering those kind of questions too. As always, make sure you like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, but you know, please, if you dislike it, leave a reason in the comments, you know, like why, so I can work on it. Subscribe if you haven't as well. I would love for you to get my videos weekly and you just see how I'm doing and I see how you guys are doing. I love reading your comments, and I'm not the greatest at responding on time, but I do respond to every comment because they all mean a lot to me. I also have a podcast called the Shape Game Podcast, link in the description. Another thing I never update, but I really need to start working on that more. A lot going on in my life that is applicable to humanity, I think, and it's just fun to get it out there and talk to people. See you guys in the next one.